What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be about the ever so controversial Tarte Shape Tape foundations. I posted a poll on my Instagram, and while there were a few people that did not want to see this video, the majority did want to see this video. So let me just start by saying I do not agree with the way Tarte sort of addressed this issue with their foundation shades. They basically said they wanted to start off with lighter shades because in the winter you're lighter than you are in the summer, and they're going to be launching more colors later in the year when people have a darker complexion. But like, that is just such like BS, because I'm sorry, but people of color have color on their skin that is their skin, you know, the entire year. So making a statement like that is just beyond me. I don't understand how that even is an okay statement to put out there to people that buy your products. So I just wanted to start off by saying I do not agree with how they addressed things, but I wanted to put this video up for you guys for those who were interested in seeing it. I feel like this foundation is already not doing very well on the market. So if you want to purchase it, that's totally up to you. I will give you my entire thoughts about the foundation at the end of the video. So the hydrating one, just to let you guys know right now, I do not put on in this video. I do go over it a little bit at the end of the video to give you guys my thoughts because I have used it already. This video is mainly going to be focusing on the matte foundation. So if you guys want to see how it applies, and if you guys want to see or hear my thoughts on the foundations, then just keep on watching. So Smashbox. Now, because I'm going to be putting on the matte foundation today, I don't want to wear a mattifying primer because my skin has been really dry. So I'm gonna put on a more hydrating primer. I'm gonna use this little Glam Glow moisturizer that I have. And then I'm gonna take the Smashbox Photo Finish primer, the pore minimizing one, and that's gonna go on my nose area, the side of my nose. I'm going to be using a beauty blender to apply the foundation today. This is what the foundation looks like. This is the mattifying version of the foundation. I'm going to go over the claims of this foundation. It says that this is vegan and oil-free. It's a full coverage foundation, creamy texture and modern matte finish to complement our cult favorite concealer. It provides the same full coverage as its concealing predecessor. It smooths over pores and imperfections with rich airbrushed full coverage that dries to a flawless matte finish using a unique concealer-inspired wand. The formula absorbs oil and shine while leaving skin creaseless, hydrated, free of flakiness or cakiness, and helping to improve skin health with every application. So that's what it says for the matte foundation, which I will be using today. I did try the hydrating foundation once, but I don't really see myself reaching for it ever, so I'll go over that one at the end of the video just in case any of you are curious. This is what the bottle looks like. It retails for $39 and you get 1.01 fluid ounces, so that's pretty standard. 1 fluid ounce for foundation. The applicator is very much the same as the concealer itself, so you get a wand. I'm not really a fan of having this kind of applicator for a foundation. For concealer, I don't mind. I feel like that's kind of the best applicator for concealer, but for foundation, I'd rather have a pump or like a squeeze tube. I feel like this is just a little, like, it's pretty unsanitary, especially if you are a working makeup artist and you have to use this, and you know, you don't want to be putting this on clients' faces. So just this applicator is just not the most hygienic. So not really a fan of the applicator. And oh, I didn't mention, I have the shade Light Neutral. I got the shade Light Neutral in both the hydrating and the matte formula, and they do differ a little bit in shade. So I'll go ahead and swatch them both for you guys on my hand so you can see. So this is the hydrating foundation here. and this is the matte foundation. I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but in person, the hydrating one definitely has more pink undertones to it, and the matte foundation has more yellow undertones to it. So there is a difference between the shades. So if you were curious about that, they're not the same across both foundations. So heads up for that. I figured they would be, so that's why I just ordered the same shade in both formulas, but they're not the same shades. Let's go ahead and just apply the foundation. We're already primed. Lately, I've been liking to just get this all over my face right off the bat. And then as you could see, I was breaking out a little bit on this side of my face. My face is just pretty congested right now for some reason. I don't know why. So I just like to get it all over my face like that. And then I'll go in with the Beauty Blender and start buffing it out. And because this is a matte foundation, I like the Beauty Blender over using a brush, especially because my skin is on the drier side right now. So I would say that this foundation is a medium full coverage foundation, but I wouldn't say it's like 100% full coverage. It does dry pretty fast, so you can work in sections that might be better, but I don't like to apply my foundation like that. I would rather just put it all over my face and then blend. This is what it's blended out to be so far. On my skin, even though I just put a moisturizing primer on, it definitely looks a little dry on my skin right now. But I've noticed that as the day goes on, my oils come through and it doesn't look like nearly as dry as it does in the beginning when I first apply it. Now I'm gonna go in with the concealer. Again, let me zoom you guys in so you guys can see my face up close a little bit. So this is what one layer of the foundation looks like. Like I said, I don't think it's full coverage. I think it's like a medium to full. You can still see some acne and scarring through here. I'm so sorry if it's not focused. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but it does look dry on my skin right now. But like I said, throughout the day, my oils start to come through and it doesn't look nearly as dry as it does after I first apply it. So that's what it looks like, just the foundation. All right, so now we can go in with concealer so you guys can see what that all looks like. I'm taking the shade Light Neutral all over my face. And I typically use this shade on my forehead, down my nose, on any acne that I have. I have this like really bad congested spot right here. And then I'll go ahead and blend that out before I do underneath my eyes. All right, and then I'm gonna take Light Neutral underneath my eyes now that the concealer on my face is blended out. And then I'm also gonna take some of the Light Sand shade and just place that right in the center of Light Neutral just to add a little bit more brightness under the eyes. Now I'm just going to set my face with the Laura Mercier. Now I'm going to start doing my face so you guys can see how everything applies. And I'm going to take Benefit's Hoola bronzer and use that to contour. And then I'm going to go in with the Park Avenue Princess contour palette. And I'm going to take this Morphe R7 and go in with the shade Princess Cut. And then I like to take this Real Techniques brush. This is a blush brush, and I just like to kind of blend that extra powder into the rest of my makeup so that it doesn't look so harsh on my forehead. And then again, I like to take the Y11 and just sort of dust away the extra powder. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with the Morphe M0 and contour my nose. The Y11 brush just to blend everything. And then I just got this in the mail a few days ago and I've been absolutely loving it. This is one of the new Jouer blush duos. So this is the Adore blush duo. And I mean, look at these colors. They're so perfect for every day. So I'm gonna go in with, what did I use yesterday? I'm gonna take this pinkier one on this side, and that's gonna go on a Morphe E4. I'm gonna try taking the Balm's Mary Luminizer. Mine is like completely busted, but I haven't used this in so long. I'm curious to see what it's gonna look like. Look how good that is. Okay, so now I kind of want to repurchase that so I don't have a broken one. Okay, so you guys saw how the face makeup went on. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup, and then I will be back to wrap up my thoughts and this video. So I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so the rest of my makeup is on. As you can see, everything applied really nicely on top. I'll actually go ahead and zoom you guys in so you can see what the face looks like now that everything is like set. So I think this is about as close as I can get before things start getting blurry. But this is what my skin looks like. I don't know if you can tell on camera, this is odd, but it is dry in my nose area. And I feel like just the lower half of my face looks pretty dry. So the foundation does claim to not be cakey with this formula, and it's supposed to not be drying. But in my opinion, I think it does look a little dry on the skin. And you guys even saw I put on a moisturizer beforehand. I would say it still definitely looks dry. That's what the foundation looks like. Before I wrap up my thoughts on this one, let me go ahead and talk about the hydrating formula really quick. So you get the same amount of product that I mentioned before with the matte foundation. It retails for the same amount. They both retail for $39. And like I said, these shades do vary between the two formulas. So even though I have both shades in light neutral, they are different. The light neutral in the hydrating formula has more of a pink undertone, and the matte formula has more of a neutral undertone, neutral to warm. The hydrating formula says that it's a hypoallergenic luminous finish gel foundation featuring the same iconic buildable full coverage as Shape Tape Concealer with an added boost of skin smoothing, oil-free hydration. It says the collagen and hyaluronic acid packed formula continuously hydrates while helping to plump skin and refine pores without creasing, caking, or fading for 12 hours. So my experience with this foundation, it is on the dewier side, but I don't believe that this is full coverage by any means. This is more light to medium coverage, buildable to medium. So the matte I would put in the like medium to full coverage foundation, buildable. And this I would say light to medium, buildable coverage, but you're not gonna get more than medium. And then another thing with this hydrating formula, apparently from what I've seen online, this is just a repackaged version of a foundation that they already had on the market. It came in like a tub. It was called the Double Duty Empowered Hybrid Gel Foundation, and apparently this is exactly the same thing, and it's just been repackaged into this Shape Tape bottle, and they're marketing it as a Shape Tape hydrating foundation. So I don't know what's going on over at Tarte, but they're not being honest with their consumers, and people are catching on. So overall, between the two foundations, I would not recommend either of them, to be honest. There has been a lot of controversy surrounding these foundations. First off, the claims for this foundation, for the hydrating one, are completely wrong. It's not full coverage by any means. It is hydrating, yes. So if you like that in a foundation, you might actually love this foundation. This one, the matte version, is good. In my opinion, I feel like it just looks heavy on the skin and it does look drying. It does last a very long time on the skin, I will say that. The first day that I wore this, I wore it for like over 12 hours, which I know is disgusting. But at the end of the day, it just looked like my skin had natural oils coming through and it didn't look like a big like grease fest on my face, which is pretty good for 12-hour wear, over 12-hour wear in a foundation. I'm not gonna knock that. But in my opinion, I just feel like these foundations could have been so much better. And I'm not a fan of the way it looks on my skin when I first apply it. Even though throughout the day it gets better, I think I just still prefer other foundations over this. And I kind of just don't want to support the fact that they have like 2 dark shades for people of color. It's just not fair to those that can't purchase this foundation because they can't find their shade. So overall, I'm not like super impressed with the foundation. It's nothing that is absolutely amazing. I feel like you could find better alternatives that are already out on the market, especially with a better shade range. Not a fan. So that's gonna complete the video today. I hope it was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed. I do have a ton of new videos in mind that I'm going to be filming. I just bought a bunch of drugstore makeup so I can film with that. I'm so excited. So as soon as my order from Ulta comes in, I will hop on that and get that up for you guys. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see all of my future videos, then make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any, and I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye!